Alrighty, good morning everyone, what's up? My name is Doc Holiday and joining me as usual we have Seriosity. Welcome to today's day number 1 of the round of 8. This is going to be, of course, for the North American Starleague. Seriosity, how you feeling, man? Retro. Oops, that was an accident. Alright guys, well it sounds like Seriosity isn't feeling today. And that's a little unfortunate. You know, I'm not sure what is going on. Let's message him. Well, for everyone who's here watching right now, I just want to let you know that whatever it is that is going on, it's Packrat's fault. You heard me, dude. You know it's your fault. What's up, Pseudo Wudo? Welcome to the chat, man. It's a good Pokemon. I like underrated Pokemon a lot. My favorite Pokemon's Geodude.
I don't hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me?
Ah, there we go, there we go. It was me, it was me.
Ah! We figured it out!
Alright, hello everyone. I don't know what happened there, but it seems like we're good to go now.
Alrighty, dudes. Well, let's hop right on into it. I think we already got the games ready to go, right?
Yeah, I got the replays here. First we're gonna cast Gypsy and Huck. And 1 second. Replays and NASL3.
Every time you say Huck, or Hawk, I think you say Huck. I'm like, Huck is playing in this? That'd be really weird. He's obviously since moved on to very serious video games like Overwatch.
Alright, game 1 is up.
Scuzzy thinks he's so funny. Scuzzy, I've been awake for a while now, sir. I'm not always a degenerate. But good morning, too. Alrighty, guys. Well, let's hop right on into it. In the top right-hand corner, spawning as the blue Zerg, we have Hawk.
In the bottom left corner, as the yellow Terran, we have Gypsy.
Alright. Oh, okay. I was freaking out. The Starcraft wasn't pop. You ever used OBS and it, like, the first time you switch over to the game, it takes a little while to recognize it?
Yeah.
I don't know what that's about, man.
Alright, so the map is Eclipse. It's one of the new maps for this latter season, 2-player map. I think this is the map where one of the bases, yeah, the top left base is a double gas, and then there's nothing at bottom right. But you have your standard 1 ramp third. Pretty good for ZVT, just to have that one easy to defend base. Now these two players, Hawk, as everyone knows Hawk because he's played in tours. He went to Corrupted Cup. Don't remember how he did. I think he took a game off DeWalt, or was it Bonnet? And he's played in NASL before, got it to round of 8 last season. I think he was 2nd place in the 1st edition. And now we have him here again. So, well-known player.
I think it's cool.
Gypsy is a wild card, right? Because everyone knows Gypsy's good, but how good is he? He only ladders, never plays in tours.
He's been playing really well in this season so far, though. And it's kind of funny because Gypsy and Hawk both seem to be the type of player that increases in their skill exponentially with the amount that they're playing. And I know that Hawk has been playing a ton, and from what we've been seeing, Gypsy's been playing a decent amount as well, so that we might be catching these guys at pretty close to peak performance for both of them.
We have Gypsy going for standard SCV scout. He's gonna see Hawk going for 12 hatch. Pretty normal on even on a 2-player map. Even if they A-Rex, you with good drone control can defend it. And he's gonna go, of course, for the 2 hatch. Every single Zerg I think we've seen has gone for 2 hatch.
It's just hot right now, you know.
Yeah, and then the standard response to this as Terran is you don't make any Marines. When you see a 12 hatch, you just throw down that command center before your second depot, and you're gonna get a small economic boost off of this. And then you just cut Marines, knowing that Lings won't be done anywhere near in time to put on any pressure. So you can get away with this. This is like ultimate greed from Terran, even adding the second barracks before making any units whatsoever. And Hawk immediately goes for a lair, so really fast lair timing. And he's gonna make 4 links. Gypsy now making Marines because now's the time. He cut as many corners as he could to get his economy to match the 12 hatch. And now he'll start producing Marines.
Ooh.
And see how long you can keep this SCV alive is pretty important. I think one of the big differences is that Hawk needs 4 lanes, not 2. With 2, it can take forever, but it seems like with 4 is the right number if you want to kill that SCV ASAP.
Well, Hawk's got perfect vision over the little ledge here at the natural expansion, so he's going to know what's going on. Gypsy's not going to be able to put on any kind of weird pressure or anything like that. But he's been shown to just do this 2 Racks Academy build and then add on a 3rd Racks after his upgrades in Academy have started and stuff. And it's been pretty good. Now, I don't know, how good is Hawk's Mutamicro? Have you seen it pretty often to be able to make that determination?
Hawk has really good Mutamicro, but we're not going to see it this game because he's going to hatch Liquor. So completely...
Wait, what? Oh my god.
Completely going to catch Gypsy off guard. I mean, as Terran, you always consider this, right? This is always a possibility, but you almost never see it. Unless you're playing someone like Tai2, this is going to be completely unexpected. That being said, 2 Racks Academy is like a catch-all build. It's good versus all. He's going to get his scans up, scan, and then if he sees mutas, make turrets, and if he sees the den, he's not going to make any turrets to defend from mutas that aren't coming.
Yeah. We'll probably see a second bunker placed up furthermore into the... Oh.
We might even see a 2nd and 3rd bunker, yeah. You just really gotta respect the threat of a bust when it's 2 hatch Liquor. Hydra's moving to the side. Don't want to morph eggs in the way of the Marine path.
Looks like Gypsy gets a scan.
Right, 3rd barracks, like you said, is going up. 2 fire bats in the bunker. This is really good against link counters. Oh, Gypsy's got to be careful here.
There's so much in the middle of the map. We have a ton of Lings on the field here.
Yeah, this is only 9 Marines. If this is a counter, I mean, if this
is
a sandwich
sunken.
Okay, stim.
First one gets up.
Oh, just in time. Alright, the problem here is that this counter, Gypsy's gonna be caught off guard. He doesn't know where the lurkers are, and this is 4 lurkers. 4 lurkers and almost 2 control groups of Lings. This is a significant threat.
Alright, Firebat's moving up into the forward bunker now.
Yeah,
this is a good SimCity though.
Turret's a little bit exposed, but I like the 2 bunkers, 1 staggered behind. But his army's just way out of position here.
Oh no, initial spines immediately target the loose Marines. And that is a big deal. Oh, 2nd bunker has nothing in it too. Oh man, lurkers immediately get up the ramp, and this is essentially a death sentence. Lurkers already on your production is terrible, and with the barracks so close to the ramp, they're able to cover both important locations here.
Yeah, Gypsy stimming his Marines back from Hawk's base, but by the time they get here, these lurkers are already positioned above the ramp.
Oh my gosh, and the SCV trolls some of the Marines and gets them killed. I like how we have this one lurker that's actually outside of the natural right now, and it doesn't seem like Gypsy is necessarily recognizing that threat because all of his reinforcements have run into it. Alright, there's like, what, is that the last scan, right?
That's the last scan, at least for the next few seconds. He has 46 energy on the scanner in his main. Problem is, look at Hawk, look how many lings this is.
Oh my god. Massive commitment, and the Lings get all over the bunker before the SCVs really get enough surface area to help repair that. Looks like it barely goes down. And what is Hawk doing at home? Looks like we're producing additional lurkers here. I don't see too many more Lings that are on the way yet, but man, this lurker at the top of the ramp.
11 lurker. Those are all Marines.
Yep. We have one more scan. Ling's here to assist. Nope, just kidding. Ling's here to run away.
Alright, so just when you think Gypsy held, it's still a little bit difficult because he's out of scanners.
Yep.
Alright, this is already pretty bad, being forced to lift the net.
He may want to just drop it onto the high ground and make a scanner, honestly. Because scanners come out with a single scan. Yep, exactly. And that'll potentially give him the additional scan he needs to break out of here.
That being said, if Gypsy doesn't die here, even in one base against two, because Hawk is so committed, Gypsy can still win.
Yeah, the real turning point for this is when Gypsy's able to get out of tank.
Add-on just completed.
Oh my god!
What a disaster!
Major spines. That was terrible. Really, not that big of a mistake from Gypsy either, just really bad luck on the part of the spines. He's doing his best. Look at how well he's controlling those Marines at the top of the ramp to try and shave off these lurkers as they get up here. One thing I'm a little surprised about is we haven't yet thrown down a turret yet. And that's the one real difference that I'd like to see, honestly, because we're relying purely on scan energy.
We're out of scan again. Tank pops up, but we have nothing to shoot.
Yeah. Well, Hawk has really gotten all of his lurkers now on top of the production, so anything else... Oh my god, what is this guy doing? This lurker is going all the way to the mineral line. Scan... He knows there's no scan left. Yeah, he knows there's no scans left, so there's nothing to deal with this. Oh my god. Wow. That was like very close.
Yeah, that just... I mean, Gypsy was completely caught off guard with that attack, because had he known lurkers were already out on the map, no way he moves out. No way he just positions himself outside of Hawk's net, accomplishing nothing. He really needed those units at home. And with all that, he still just barely died.
Yep. Two-hatch lurker is funny though, because it's one of those builds that can be played out a number of different ways. So you don't necessarily have to kill your opponent. You can go for like a contain, stuff like that as well. But Hawk went all in, and you know, it almost didn't work.
Almost. But just barely. I mean, he really took advantage of the lack of scan. Alright, so the format for this tournament is they're gonna ban until there's one map from the map pool, and then the loser will pick the following map. So all 5 maps will be played. It's just the order is determined by the players.
Man, could you imagine if there was a turret up at that ramp?
Or even a bunker. No way Hawk pushes up, but I mean, I think at that point, it's probably an even game, right? If Gypsy doesn't die.
Yeah,
and base for a while. Hawk was already droning up, and he could transition out of his all-in at any point. That's the power of Zerg.
Alrighty, guys. Well, coming back for game number 2, bottom left-hand corner, we have Gypsy.
And in the top left corner, we have Hawk. Happy as Polypoid.
Well, I'm glad that gamble worked out for Hawk. I feel like part of the reason why you don't see two-hatch lurker very often is when you see it coming, it really is just really a lot easier to deal with.
Yeah, I like the build choice from Hawk because you're practicing all week for your matchup, right? And you're gonna test the one build you're gonna do, but you don't expect your opponent to go two-hatch lurker, so there goes your build. You really dictate the pace when you go for something that aggressive. Alright, Hawk is scouting, I guess. Let me see. Alright, yeah. This is like... This vertical scout from Hawk is normally going to check the closest nat, and then he can cap his overlord over this little high ground cliff and see all of Gypsy's army movement. Now Gypsy, is he going to go for a 14cc? It looks like he is. No barracks has been constructed. Yep. Pretty bold move from Gypsy. Down 0-1 and going for a 14 command center.
Honestly, man, I'm into it. I think he knows that Hawk is not the type of player that's going to go for a super early pool anyways. And I think that's a really good meta read.
Yeah, it's still a bold play. Hawk actually, he throws down a pool immediately. Looks like he's not going to want to go into a 3-hatch before pool. Just going to stick to his 2-hatch play. But this is really good for Gypsy. This is basically ideal. He's going to scout Hawk first too. Now we have Hawk's drone coming just to bother SCV a bit, knowing that Gypsy's not going to have any units to defend from this drone. Has to commit another SCV. Let's see what the drone micro's like. Getting a few spits in. SCV at half health.
Ooh, a nice little pivot shot there. Oh, he's gonna get it.
7.
Oh,
we can't lose the drone. Oh,
it was so
clutch
close.
Repair.
Yeah.
Clutch repair.
So good. That's 2 more shots now on the SCV. Oh, but he's going to build. 1 more.
Don't run away.
He's got the. Oh! And he's getting out. Amazing. And this is the high quality commentary in StarCraft that you can expect from the NASL. I mean, really. Can you see that anywhere else? I don't think so, guys.
Alright, one big problem during all that drone micro. Hawk actually only had 2 drones on gas.
Ah, so what you're saying is that Gypsy out microed Hawk.
Kind of, he's actually, he killed the SCV and he's gonna make a lot more lings than expected. He's up to 8 lings. Gypsy, respecting the threat. Even if you don't know it's coming, if you're blind, you basically have to make a bunker. You don't know what Zerg's gonna do. Marines loaded into the bunker, and 3 Marines in a bunker should be more than enough to defend slow lings. Oh, Hawk's committing? Unexpected move.
Well, we've got three SCV kills so far. 4th one? 4? 1 more? Alright. 4 SCV kills for 8 Zerglings. That's pretty great. Because, I mean, you're resource efficient, but Terran, unlike Zerg, cannot produce multiple SCVs at once, so it's going to throw them back pretty far on the economic sliding scale there.
Alright, 2 Racks Academy from Gypsy again. And this time it's going to be Muta from Hawk. This time we'll see what kind of Muta Micro Hawk has. But from what I've seen, it's been pretty good. His fire is late because he had 2 on gas initially, and then he didn't throw down the 3rd drone to mine gas until after its lair.
Yeah, Gypsy about to be on 10 Marines already, or 8 Marines and 2 medics, yeah. 8 Marines and 2 medics, but I mean, his fighting force is going to be significantly stronger coming across the map than it normally will be in comparison to what Hawk usually has. We have the in-base hatchery, which is not ideal. Hawk was trying to throw it down here at the 3rd.
Right, 2 seconds up. This Marine move out. It's not going to do much. Of course, it just sims across the map and you can get here before the mutas are out, but won't accomplish much if all your Marines are dead as the mutas pop out.
Alright, we're getting +1 carapace on these mutas, looks like. That's interesting. Normally when you see someone commit to a more heavy mutalist play, you're going to be seeing +1 attack. I guess the +1 armor does help a bit versus the Marines, but I was under the impression that attack is just generally better on mutas since it affects all 3 bounces.
Carapace is good too. It makes them much better in fights against Marines generally because the +1 attack is completely nullified. So your mutas until a later game will be able to have like they'll be more impactful later. +1 attack is also good. You really want to be fighting when you go for +1 attack. I'm curious into how many mutas is Hawk going to make. Is he just going to make 11 and then transition, or if it's going to be more committed? First set of mutas are out.
Gypsy's Marine movement has been pretty meticulous so far. Hawk not even allowed to get a single shot off in the meantime. Gypsy able to do significant damage to 2 mutalists.
Yeah. Gypsy retreating just at the right time. You really don't want to overstay your welcome. You want to group up your Marine groups. Don't want to lose that first group for free. You lose that first group, you give Zerg all kinds of map control. Hawk with the Jones round.
Man,
I'm gonna take that 3rd.
I feel like something's wrong with Hawk's mutalist. We haven't seen a single shot go off this entire time, and look at the health of some of these mutas now.
It looks like Hawk has 9, 11 mutas and he's transitioning, so not super committed. He is getting the +1 just so they're a little bit more powerful later in the game. One of the benefits of 2 hatch is you can get your muta upgrades faster. And as you can see, Gypsy's +1 is going to be later than Hawk's. So this window where Gypsy doesn't have +1 and Hawk does is going to be very good for Hawk.
Hawk with the split map, 3rd base. That's a little freaky. Of course, with Nidus, you can defend that, but you do have to have your hive tech up in time to do that. Hawk finally finding some joy with these mutalists, though, shaving off units off the back end here. That's pretty good. Looks like Gypsy's been scouting around the map with these fire bats a little bit. It's a really good use of those, as he knows that they're going to be not very useful coming up later in the game here. He hasn't scouted bottom right yet, but I'm sure he knows it's an option, but it's so uncommon.
Here we go with the mutas just killing the trailing Marines for free, basically. He is down to 7 mutas, but he killed off a control group of Marines already.
Yeah, very good.
Of course, you never want to lose any mutas, because keeping them alive, even later into the game, they can be valuable. They'll eat and irradiate when Terran really wants to use irradiate on defilers, or help against drop just by having them in the main.
Yeah, and of course you can also go for like the late game, the sneaky guardian attack over the natural expansion or something like that. There's lots of really great uses for mutas. As a matter of fact, we even have a couple of additional mutalists being added on here because Hawk does have that +1 and they have that much utility currently.
And Gypsy sending that fire bat to the bottom right.
We do
It
have
seems like.
we do have lurkers being placed in place there, and they're going to be up in plenty of time to stop any kind of attack down there.
Yeah, now the only way Gypsy's gonna get into that base is via drop.
These mutalists really doing a pretty seriously a good amount of work here now. Here's the scary part. Gypsy has been doing this pretty much all tournaments so far, and he goes for the very fast tank. Oh my god, but the very fast tank! No, Hawk doesn't see it! Oh, that could have been a turning point.
These 2 free tanks. Look at these 2 free tanks.
They're just chilling!
Where are these mutas going, man?
He's got to kill that fire bat.
We gotta commit our 9 mutas.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
Those are 2 free tanks. Those 2 tanks, if killed, makes Gypsy not have any pressure whatsoever with his build.
Yeah.
And one of the costs of going for this tank is you don't get your second starport producing vessels early, meaning at the time you normally have 4 vessels, you'd only have 2. So it's a trade-off to go for tanks, but usually it's very good when you can just get to Zerg's Nat.
Yeah, if you can get him across the map, you can potentially just make this a killing timing. Hawk has done a good job shaving off the Marines as they try to get over here and reinforce this army. Here's another tank for free potentially that we're just letting get over there! Are you serious? The Zerglings even see... It's still there! Oh my god. How?
We have lurkers coming in from the Nidus. These are the lurkers that were at bottom right. This is a nerve-wracking moment for a Hawk. Consume just finishes.
Yeah, we just get our Defiler's timing. Oh man, but one of the lurkers go down, so we only have a single one underneath here. There's that irradiator we talked about. Oh man, the split is awful.
Where's the split?
Oh my gosh.
We finally do split off, but now all these mutas are like 10 HP.
Yeah. They can still provide utility if we just save them in like a corner or something like that, but man.
Yeah, we finally do push Gypsy back, but we took a lot of losses in that fight as Hawk.
Yeah, look at all the Sunkens we had to create. Lots of lurkers went down as well. But as you said, you know, going for these tanks, it does slow down the irradiate, so we don't really have the amount of energy that you normally would have to be able to put pressure onto the Defiler numbers. It looks like Hawk had his lurkers a little too close together, so the splash damage was able to kill off one of them.
Okay, so we do have the 1 vessel only, and with Swarm, this means you can't really put pressure. Gypsy is actually making a dropship. Looks like this dropship is going to go to bottom right. Where's the dropship? No, it's actually probably going to elevate into Hawk's main, but Hawk is already ready for that.
Gypsy, in the meantime, trying to secure a 3rd base. Going to be pretty easy, as he does have pressure on the map right now.
Hawk, with his 3rd saturated, is adding the macro hatcheries down there. And here we go. Here's Gypsy's dropship. Let's see if he can distract Hawk at the front and get this drop in.
Alrighty, small fighting force here. Defiler plus a couple of wings. Is there going to be a fire bat in here? No. So this isn't going to work out too well for Gypsy, unfortunately.
Alright, dropship immediately goes down, so that's another... Like, you can look at this as another vessel that wasn't made.
Yeah, that's a really big win here for Hawk. I do agree with the Slorm that if he had put pressure down at the 3rd instead, it could have been potentially a lot more productive. Of course, he does have a Nidus there, but that surprise at your 3rd is not something that you're normally going to expect. Interestingly, Hawk has decided to go for 2 macro hatcheries down in the bottom right-hand corner instead of securing a 4th base here. I feel like 4 macro hatcheries on only 3 bases is pretty rough to be able to produce out of here. We'll have to see what he does in order to secure this 4th before he can really make use of all that additional larva.
I'm looking at the upgrade situation. Gypsy.
There's just an Ursidon here. What? How did he get over here? Is he normally in this natural? Just in Hawk's natural. What the hell? He's just chilling. He's like trying to help out. I thought it was an Ultralisk. I was like, what the f. Well, that's funny. Man, that was a really nice plague. We finally have Irradiates going down on Defilers here, so that's going to be seriously taxing. Oh my god, the Defiler killed 2 Wings. But that's going to be seriously taxing on the gas bank that we currently have. As you can see, Hawk is trying to make his way down his ramp to secure his his 4th base rather. But in the meantime, Gypsy's on 4 bases now.
Yeah, Gypsy, during all this pressure, took the time to double expand, as he's kept Hawk busy only defending up to this point.
Yeah. Of course, this is really more like half an expansion since it's got reduced minerals, it has no gas, but even still. Nice snipe on the vessel.
And it looks like we're running dangerously low on Swarm.
Yeah.
We have these 2 lurkers, Burrowed and the Nidus.
The lurker positioning is a little strange though. It's not quite over to the far enough to the right to be potentially, you know, to be able to just completely defend against a run by here. Of course, there are lurkers in the natural expansion surrounding the hatchery as well. But these pieces positionings for the lurkers just all the way to one side to me is a little strange. Okay, Gypsy really seriously switching gears here. We've backed up almost all of our army with the exception of the tanks to go down and attack this 4th base here. Looks like we have 1 swarm on the Defiler up here currently. But that is a lot of fire bats. They may be able to bust through here. Oh, all the fire bats go down. We still have a good number of lurkers underneath the swarm there, so an incredibly ballsy bust attempt here by Gypsy, but it is not going to work out, and that is a lot of leverage that's been given up here at the natural expansion, and with these Ultralists out now, we should be able to finally bust this contain.
Yeah, these tanks have gotten a ton of value, combined 22 kills. They're finally going to be cleaned up as Gypsy abandoned this position.
Yeah, but for 3 tanks, he has secured a massive economic lead. Basically has said, Hawk, you can't move out until this very moment. And so now that Gypsy's on 4 bases, he's on equal bases to his Zerg opponent. And he's going to be able to just continue to pressure for like literally forever, especially if he stays on this SK type of style where you're just going to be making mass vessel, mass marine. Like that is a huge amount of money for Terran.
We have 4 dropships coming into this bottom right base of Hawks.
What is even here at the natural expansion to potentially reinforce this? Nothing. Doesn't look like we have any units really ready to hop into this Nidus and defend this base here. We do have a lot of...
no medics.
Oh my god. Yeah, but who needs medics when you just got a bunch of barbecue boys up here? Look at the... They're all killing the extractor! Oh man. Oh, this is such
Nidus
a massive
bit
army.
exposed here. Instantly picked off. Now Hawk can't reinforce this via Nidus. And he's actually countering Gypsy at the same time, taking out this mineral only, but in the process losing his bottom right bases and all his macro hatcheries.
Yeah, unfortunately, Hawk is pretty well behind on the upgrade train right now. He's only got the 4 armor on the Ultralisks, and in the meantime, we have full upgrades for attack on the bio and 2 armor. So the bio very well upgraded here. And unfortunately, that means that these Ultras are going to be a lot less productive than they could potentially be.
This is one of the difficulties of expanding like this as Zerg. The dropships are the same distance from your base, from either of your bases. So let's say if Hawk's 3rd was cross map, it's much harder to drop a cross map base. Yeah. You'll spot that a million miles away. But with Hawk concentrating on his Nat and Gypsy's mineral only, he just didn't see the 4 drops coming.
I know it was super insignificant, but 4 Lings just got 4 kills versus some Marines, which is pretty weird. But alrighty. Well, that base has been sort of stabilized for now. We do have a lot of the lurkers up on the high ground. We do have a good contingent of lurkers here on the bottom as well. We still have aggression here at the mineral only. I don't really know how worth it is. Even just delaying mining here, it's not that big of a deal because it is a mineral only. We're not like gating the units that are really important right now. You know, vessels are not getting slowed down by lifting that up. So, I don't know. Not a super big fan of what's going on here right now. Oh no! We have enough irradiates to bust this low ground here.
Yeah, and with no Nidus here, still hasn't been made.
There goes the last lurker.
Gypsy's just gonna stim in and run. He still has a small army in the main as well. This drop never died.
Alright, once again, big attacks here. The thing is, though, is that Gypsy can certainly afford to lose this mineral only. This could go down completely for free, and he'd still be in a wonderful position at this point. The
He still has the 6 o'clock base, and even without the 6 o'clock base, Hawk losing 2 of his own. And Gypsy with a healthy vessel count, where you just keep irradiating Hawk's army.
Honestly, I'm really not a big fan of going ultras if you're behind. I think ultras are really like one of the best units that you can do if you're ahead. But as you can see, man, these are just not productive. They're essentially a waste of money. They're giant zerglings in the face of this oppressive, bio army here. And I mean, I don't really know what Hawk can do at this point, but I would have rather seen the gas spent on something else.
Yeah, it kind of hurts when the upgrades aren't at least equal. But with that, Gypsy wins. Pretty good game from Gypsy. That one drone at the beginning, I thought we had it there. And with that, we're tied at 1-1.
Alrighty, guys, just give me 1 second. I know some of you may have noticed, but I'm trying to set the scoreboard up here.
Oh yeah, in the meantime, there's something I should say. The Matcherino link, of course, you can use the coupon code NASL3 to add 50 cents to the price pool. But there's also a survey quest you can do. Now it's going to ask you about energy drinks, and it's like 10, 12 questions or something. But just completing this will add a whole $2 to the price pool. So with the coupon code and the survey,
wait,
that's
what? Dang!
per person. So please do it. Adding $2 for free. It'll take literally less than 2 minutes of your time. Let me find the Matcherino real quick. I didn't even know that until recently. I was perusing the Matcherino page, seeing who had donated, and I saw this survey quest. $2. I was like, what's this? And it was that. How simple is it?
Yeah, all the sponsor quests are actually insane. Like, a lot of them, they'll pay like triple or quadruple like the normal going rate for like just a click.
And so today we're going to cast Gypsy and Hawk, and then immediately after Dragon and Type 2. And then tomorrow it's going to be TT1 Yaj and Crossboa. Next week is the round of 4. We'll be casting both series in one day. It's still best of 5. And then the following week after that, it's going to be the best of 7 finals. And with that, we'll have completed the 3rd season of NASL. NASL. Alright, you ready, Doc?
Yeah, let's say that's what we are.
Yeah, okay.
Alrighty, guys. Well, in the bottom left-hand corner, we have spawning as the red Zerg, Hawk.
In the top right corner, we have the blue, or the Navy Terran, Gypsy. Gypsy picks match point. If Gypsy's ever gonna go mech, it's gonna be on this map, but I think Gypsy just does the same build every game. He's very comfortable with doing that. This map in ZVT, I think it's a little bit difficult for Zerg. You have to take the corner base, usually right with the gas, but it has 2 ramps. Much harder to defend than just the 1 ramp. 3rd, so sometimes you'll see Zergs take 6 or 12 o'clock. There's this little choke that leads into that base, but that base is a lot farther via ground. The real difficulty is how close the base is to the middle. So Terran attacking your 2 bases, if he, let's say, Hawk takes 6, Gypsy can attack Hawk's net and 6 pretty easily, bounce between one base and the other. What I doubt we'll see is Gypsy go for 14 command center again, but who knows?
Interestingly, Hawk is going for a 9 pull speed, or okay,
yeah, now
never
this
mind,
is
regular 9 pull.
So I've seen this build on this map where you go 9 pull gas trick, and one of the benefits of this build is that, well, on 2-player maps, Terrans have a possibility of going for the eBay block on your hatchery. So you're gonna go 12 hatch or 12 pull expand. You can get that hatchery blocked, and then all of a sudden your game plan has to change completely because you can't take your natural in time. So Zergs go for this very economic 9 pull, no gas, and a 10th drone, just for the extra little bit of mining. And then with these 6lings, they can put pressure and take their nat without being harassed by the SCV. Now, of course, these 6lings will force Terran to make a bunker, so you kind of make up for the hidden economy. You also hurt Terran's economy a bit. Here we go, Gypsy's making that bunker. Now this bunker doesn't seem like it's going to be on time. I think Gypsy's going to have to pull SCVs.
With only 1 Marine, too, you can just run past this bunker without something to block for it.
Alright, so it looks like the bunker just finishes. We have 2 Marines going into the bunker. No run by from Hawk.
There we do have the bunker pulled, and we have a large SCV pull, so this is certainly worth it. This is a ton of economic damage, essentially, for what was, you know, just making these guys to get your natural down. Now Gypsy still has his SCV in the main. I'm not sure if Hawk is super aware of that.
Hawk is aware. He's sending 1 lane back. What was cancelled? I heard something cancelled.
I heard a Terran thing cancel, yeah. I don't know, though. I don't see any debris anywhere.
I was curious. So yeah, Hawk is sending that 1 lane back to hit this SCV a bunch, but 1 lane isn't enough to kill an SCV. Especially on this map where you don't have a ramp. You have this, like, just area where the scout can just keep coming back in. Gypsy throwing down a depot at the front. Always good to SimCity your naturals. Makes your defense is that much better. And Hawk behind us, of course, going into 2-hatch lair. So every game we've seen 2-hatch lair. Would not be surprised if all games in the series were 2-hatch lair.
Yeah, I still don't know how I feel about this. I think 2-hatch layer builds are certainly fun and exciting because they're aggressive, but I hate that it's the only build that we're seeing right now from Zergs.
Alright, so we're going to see a Spire. Larry immediately done. He's going to throw down that Spire. Hawk's second gas. So I'm wondering when he's going to take it. There's been a change in 2-hatch Muta, so now Zergs take the second hatch a little bit later. They want to fully saturate the net first before taking the second hatch. Just gives you that extra bit of economy. Means you're going to have less mutas at the timing for when your Spire is finishing. And Hawk's taking the mineral only with his third hatch. So this is a bit interesting. I wonder what the benefit of the mineral only is.
Just that it's easier to protect, that's like literally it, right?
I have no idea because...
There's the high ground.
What if... Yeah, what if you just take 6 instead? Or what if you do a macro hatch? Then you only have to defend your net instead of 2 locations.
We have a drone coming out here now. It may be that Hawk is just trying to expand very quickly behind his build here.
Yeah, Hawk's actually going to double expand. Go up to 4 hatcheries really fast. So this is what I was talking about with this build, where you delay your second gas a little bit. You can get up to 4 hatcheries really quickly. And you won't have the money to make mutas instantly. But it's fine. At this moment, you don't really want to pressure until you have what is it, 8 mutas or 7 mutas, so you can one-shot SCVs.
8 mutas. 8 mutas also, importantly, 3-shot a turret as opposed to, you know, and then the next big number is 10 or 11, rather, for 2.
Alright, Hawk's mutas are building up. Gypsy with a little move out, just a poke. On this map with the long rest distances, you can't really expect to get to Zerg's Nat and put any pressure. And Gypsy's gonna go into factory off of 2 barracks this time, not 3.
Once again, we have +1 armor coming down for Hawk, and I mean, it certainly worked out for him last game where his mutas really did a great job. Kind of after the initial round of muta bio dancing, but you know, as Gypsy was trying to reinforce his position to the tank, he did certainly get a lot of work done with those mutalists.
Yep, and now we already see drones being made. That's his 3rd, and he's going to take his gas at the 4th, so if Hawk can get away with this, he's going to have a insanely good economy.
Once again, too, as you pointed out last game, Hawk's air upgrade is going to be done earlier than Gypsy's +1 for his Marines here. So, I mean, again, he's going to have a bit of a window of opportunity to potentially trade very favorably rather, with the bio army, and if he does so, he's going to be able to, you know, stall for long enough for this 4th base to get its value, and then we're going to see what I assume to be a much different game, where he's going to be able to really leverage his earlier macro hatcheries and do a good amount of damage, and not allow Gypsy to really shut him down like he did at the natural expansion.
Alright, so this couldn't have worked out any better for Hawk. You have Gypsy, who went 2 racks into tech, meaning with this build, you're only on 2 racks for a while, so you can't really put pressure. And Hawk has 4 bases, so if Hawk has all the map control, he really doesn't need to make any defenses whatsoever, just the mutas, and he'll be able to defend fine. So he's gotten away with murder, basically.
Yeah, Hawk's Carapace upgrades coming in a lot sooner than they were last game as well. It's going to be about half an upgrade behind. So if we do see a push for Ultralists, they will be a lot more useful, as they're not going to be stuck so far behind the Marines if we keep up on the upgrades.
Yeah, so Hawk really needs to keep tabs of when Gypsy moves out, catches the Marines unstimped.
Ooh, really good fight here so far, and the Lings are going to come in here and really make this a good fight.
Good micro from Gypsy to pull back.
Lings tanking so much damage though, and allowing the mutas just to come in from the ledge over and over and over again and take this bio ball apart.
Yeah, so that was a very tactical play from Hawk. You really want to engage his Marines when they're not stimped and when they're moving down a ramp. They're most exposed then. Bringing in the Lings for support later. Adding a bit more DPI to his army and a bit more meat. And now we have Hawk with the map control again. Muta's bought enough time that he's going to switch into Lurkers, and he's going to have to position them so he can defend all of these locations. Really has to defend 3 locations. Pretty difficult in ZVT at this time, but with the Muta flock still alive and the Carapace upgrade done, should be able to pick off Marines here and there and give himself some more time.
I do think it's funny in this matchup, you know, like when you watch ZVT on this map, you really just need to control this big high ground, because the Muta, or the Protoss army rather, really does not have a good time coming up this like little small ramp here. But because it's, you know, bio, they're able to just stim up the ramp so fast. That's still a very, very big vulnerability for Zerg.
Yeah, so Hawk has no units at this top left base, knowing that if Gypsy's ever going to get there, he's going to have plenty of time to react. Really just focusing on defending the ramp that leads to the net and the one that leads to the mineral. We do have 4 saturated 4 bases, so this is Hawk's economy really kicking in here.
Gypsy hitting a bit of an anti-timing here, as the Carapace upgrade is literally just about to finish here. And there it goes, +1 has now popped.
Okay, so we have the tank again. We have the same 1 starport, 1 factory timing. Siege not quite done.
Oh, Star Person, thank you so much once again for the balloons, dude. Seriously, man, you've donated like literally every stream, like multiple times, like so helpful. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it here at NASL, man. Ooh, Gypsy going for the mini ramp here. Now this is once again, like these little ramps, which are untouchable in other matchups, are much larger vulnerabilities here. Ooh! Oh man, are we going? Okay, if he had fired that first time, that would have been a dead tank. Let's focus the tank. Ooh, we have a good split there. I'm not sure if that was an intentional irradiate on a single lurker or not, but certainly this is going very, very well for Hawk. His Mutaflock is still incredibly healthy. There's a very low number of Marines, and now that they're isolated on this low ground here, Hawk can just kind of collapse on them, as reinforcements are not going to be able to make it over here. Muta's coming in here. Oh, well, this is certainly moving from the one side a little suspect. Looks like they didn't mean to go down to the natural expansion, but everything working out pretty fine. And this massive, expensive, important army from Gypsy gets absolutely obliterated, and that is a big, big problem for Gypsy, as those tanks really need to do more than just die in the middle of the map in order for this build to have been worth it.
Yeah, we saw one of the unique features on this map where the tanks can siege from the low ground. But I was looking at it, and the tanks are 3-shotting drones, so not that big of a threat when it's only one tank. Hawk this game didn't go for fast hive. He's going to actually defend with units and upgrades. Mutas are still alive. We have 7 mutas in base. Lurkers with carries, lings. Hawk just has a really strong army and a lot of it.
Alright. Well, another not amazing split here, but luckily it wasn't nearly as impactful. Man, Hawk is in such a great spot now. He's got all the economy, he's got the tech that he wants, Hive is on the way, like everything is looking very strong for him now. Gypsy literally can't move out on the map because Hawk's army is just stronger, which is not something that you're used to seeing in ZVT at this point of the game. As you can see, very, very paltry sized army here for Gypsy, and this is going to be a big attack, delaying the third for him. And yeah, man, I mean, I would love to be Hawk in a ZVT like this, man. This is looking real good for him.
You know, we only have one vessel, and we're just getting our army picked apart in every engagement.
Yeah. I mean, the Lings are just even, like, obliterating the Marines almost by themselves half the time.
And we're going to have another timing here for Hawk. Where's upgrades there in the match? He's been upgrading off 2 evolution chambers now, so he's going to have a really potent army once he transitions into ultras.
Yep. Carapace just about to finish, as you said, going to make this engagement a little bit better for him, potentially. Looks like the reinforcement's not arriving quite in time to help out those last few lurkers, but this reinforcement wave certainly will be pretty strong.
Yep, Gypsy finally producing off 2 starports. He's just now going to take his third as his main and Nat are drying up. Hawk, meanwhile, taking a 5th at 6 o'clock. Critically, this is a 4th gas. As you can see, Hawk is very low on gas. Even if he produces Spearwings off of from here on out, he's always going to be low on gas on 3 gas and all of these hatcheries.
Yep, he is going for a very muscly style, though, and this is going to allow him to trade more evenly than if you were going for like the Defiler Ling stuff. That's really good at stalling and potentially being super cost effective, as your Terran opponent can't really kill you, but it does not fight well. Oh. Oh, okay. We still don't have crack. Looks like Adrenaline is getting close to finishing up here.
Yeah, Hawk is not gonna go for Defilers this game. He's already thrown down that Ultralist thing.
Oh,
he has good upgrades.
Gypsy lining up a little bit too much for the spines here, and these lurkers got a decent amount of value. As you can see, the bio army really starting to dwindle.
Lurkers are gonna start losing value though as longer this game goes on. They're only... Actually, they don't have any upgrades on their attack, so they're going to be 3-shotting Marines. But the real threat is this Ultralist switch whenever it happens. They're going to be very, very powerful. Almost full upgrades on Carapace.
Dude, and look at this attack pattern that we're going for with Hawk here. Like, I really love this. He keeps turning around and you know, forcing these engagements where Gypsy is trying to move out onto the map. He's got plenty of army back at home, massive number of Zerglings. Adrenaline has finished up here. Of course, he is about to be behind in the armor upgrade thing, but like there's just a giant dog pile of Zerglings.
Good engagement for Gypsy. Just as I say that, Lurker's
Yeah.
probably need 4 Marines and 3 medics. But if this vessel count keeps growing, there's a path for Gypsy to come back in this game.
Yeah, it was a little unfortunate that Hawk's Lurkers kind of stopped a little bit too far back for them to be helpful in that engagement. If they had pushed forward just a little bit longer, I think he would have been in a much better spot for that. Big engagement, though, over here. Once again, the third under a serious threat. And this is a ton of cracklings with good upgrades. This is going to absolutely obliterate this Marine army. Meantime, we do have the Ultralisk on the field here. Let's take a look. Has their upgrade finished? It does look like it has. They are currently down 1 armor upgrade to Gypsy's attack. But overall, they're still going to be very helpful in defending this, as there's just not enough army here to really deal with what Hawk has produced. Third has just been lifted for so long, man.
Yeah, the real story here is the economic difference between 2 players. Hawk has been on 4 bases basically for 10 minutes, and Gypsy still has had trouble even just mining from his third. If you look at the mineral patches, he's mining about 100 from each.
Oh no, Gypsy starting to throw in a large number of firebats as he's recognizing how badly his army has been trading. I think this is certainly a wise decision overall, as his army just really has not been able to make the trades that it needs to in order to be able to kind of fight the Zerg. But once again, as Gypsy moves out on the map to try to take out this critical 6 o'clock base, huge number of Zerglings are flooding into his natural.
I want you to take a moment and look at every base on the map. Hawk has taken every remaining base on the map. Bottom right, 12 o'clock. He is going to lose 6 o'clock, but it might not matter, knowing that Gypsy still hasn't mined from his third. Look, another lift has been forced.
Alright.
That's what's going to catch all these Ultralisks, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's annoying for sure. But I mean, does it really matter? Like, Gypsy has just not been able to mine. Look at the supply difference. You're up almost, 20 supply on this Terran as Zerg. That's got to feel really good. And look at Gypsy's army. It's like half firebats, which is just not the ideal composition when you're fighting against ultras.
All right, so the carry base just finished, so all these fights are going to start to look different.
Yeah, ultras are going to be super mega effective now. And there's nothing really that Gypsy can do to make his bio army much more effective versus the Ultralisks. At this point, they're going to just be like godly tanks.
Yeah, we need that +4 upgrade to kick in on this Marine army.
Yeah, if only. It's like those Yo messes where like you can upgrade like infinitely. You got like +300 Marines.
Do you think if like the upgrades weren't capped, we would see early upgrade builds? Like +1 is already like the fastest. Like Terrans, when they go for that eBay rush to get +1 real quickly, will we see even faster than that?
Oh, honestly, if they were uncapped, I think you'd see Zerg upgrading a lot faster. Because
all right, we have the complete sandwich from this army. Attack from all sides. He does keep all these vessels alive, but what good are vessels when they're the only thing you have left?
True.
Hawk's economy is gonna blow up now. He's taking all of the map. Gypsy's on 1 base basically.
I think it's so funny, man. You say he's like, we keep the vessels alive. I think there's been 6 Scourge made like the entire game. Like, I don't know if that was always ever a threat. But like, look at this, dude. There's almost as many vessels. There's almost as many Marines as there are vessels. Like it's crazy.
All right, here finally we do have some Scourge, and combining it with the army are gonna make them very easy to pick off with proper cloning. Looks like we get 4 of the vessels.
Yeah, half of them go down instantly. Could have been more, but cloning is pretty annoying to deal with.
There we have even more Scourge coming in. I mean, look at Hawk. This is what's annoying about Zerg. Zerg has been on 4 bases this entire time, and the mineral only Nat and main still look healthy. Meanwhile, Gypsy's Nat is drying up, and he's only on 1 base. Bottom right's gonna go down, but Hawk already has 12 and 6 going up. Gypsy scans that, and with this counter going into the third, Gypsy's army way out of position.
Yeah, any damage done here too is really just incidental. Like, these counterattacks are really only so that way Hawk can kill off the vessels at this point. As you can see, he's just throwing small groups of units over here to distract the marine fire. But, I mean, he's... Oh my god. These are very sad Marines, dude. They just got caught in the corridor.
Brutal. It's like a horror movie.
Yeah, dude. Oh, man. Alrighty, well, Hawk playing that game very excellently. Gypsy getting just outmaneuvered a little bit here with the attacks being constantly backstabbed with small groups of units and really not allowing Gypsy to ever secure a good 3-base economy. So Hawk with just some really great tactical play, very smart, and of course his build order was really nice too with a very fast fourth, and Gypsy just getting a little bit out-econned here. And you know what? That's just how it goes, man. Gypsy's been playing spectacularly, but that is going to be it for him here in NASL.
Nope, it's a best of 5 dog.
I mean, I lied. What am I talking about? Shut the fuck up. Who was that guy that we just had on the mic? We're gonna... Hold on. The technical difficulties. Guys, I'm breaking up. I can't hear you. 1 second. I'm just not gonna cast. I'm gone. Don't worry about me. Anyways, a solo cast for my curiosity now.
The key moment in that game was actually the Marine move out getting caught, kind of split off at the ramp outside of Gypsy's net. From then, Gypsy had no map control whatsoever, and Hawk's 4 base went unpunished.
Nice save, yeah. Thanks, Widow. I appreciate it, bro. Alrighty, guys. In the top center of the map, up 1 game so far in the series, we have Hawk spawning as the white Zerg.
And in the bottom right, or bottom left, we have Gypsy as the orange Terran. Gypsy with his back against the wall now. We're gonna see him probably do the same thing, to be honest. Yeah. He's confident in his skills and in his build.
This has got to be a pretty uncomfortable position for Gypsy, as I think he's used to having his chest up against the wall. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's always nerve-wracking when you're one game away from an elimination. We're gonna see an 8-Rex. So he's mixing it up. This is what I like to see. This is what you see in series.
Yeah, I'm, you know, it's funny, because I think a lot of people really recognize Gypsy as a player that gets tilted really, really hard. But I think he allows himself that, like, kind of, like, that emotional room, when he's playing ladder, because it's just ladder. I really am curious to see how his composure holds up, in tournament. You know what I mean? Because, like, in tournament, you're going to say to yourself, okay, it's just another game. We're just gonna play it out. We're gonna do our best job here, you know. And it's there's stakes on the line, so you respond to that pressure completely differently than you would, I think, normally on in a ladder, where you just allow yourself to have fun, get angry, you know. Completely different level, and you know, your composure is completely different. So I'm very curious to see how he holds up here now. This is really, really fortunate for Hawk. He's gonna immediately spot the 8-Racks. That's going to allow him to make the correct pull timing for his drones and get them to block any of the Marines from getting into a bunker here at the natural expansion. Looks like we have the 3+1 drone here. Oh, he's still not making his way across the map, but usually you see like 4, or in this case 5 drones being pulled here to stop a bunker from going down. And unfortunately, 8-Racks not doing anything is a pretty big deal. It has to do some damage. So if Gypsy gets literally nothing done here, it's going to be really unfortunate. And because of that, very lucky Overlord Scout. Looks like Hawk is going to have a very nice start to the defense of this 8-Racks here.
Yeah, I was looking to see if Gypsy was going to transition to factory off of this 8-Racks, but still no gas. Of course, having all these drones pull off the line is a big commitment from Hawk, but this is what you have to do against 8-Racks.
Yeah, Hawk continuing to try to use his mineral vision at the natural for Gypsy to try and path through this, and this is huge. He has lost 2 drones, but he's going to eliminate the threat of this build very quickly and allow these drones to get back onto the mining as much more quickly than they would normally be able to. As you can see, the SCV's been very bruised up here. Gypsy going to be forced back into his natural expansion. The pool is up, and now he is in a pretty spectacular spot here.
Oh man, that was insane. Basically defended the A-Racks before even Lings were out, and Hawk only made drones. He hasn't made a single set of Lings this game.
Well, okay, that's not true, but pretty much. He made one pair of Lings, but these Lings, this isn't like defensive Lings. These Lings are like the standard 2 Lings that you make to get vision on the map and stuff like that. But yeah, that was pretty just ridiculous. That was all Mr. MVP Stanley, the Overlord over here. You know, he gave the mineral vision so that you could use the mineral walking pathing, which was huge in that engagement, allowing the drones to get all up in the Marines' face real easy like. And then on top of that, you know, obviously he spotted the build coming right away. So overall, this is just the best Overlord in the history of Overlords, gotta say. Very good guy.
Right. So Hawk didn't know if this was a 1-1-1 follow-up or just some kind of mech follow-up, but the command center timing and the lack of vulture confirms it. So Hawk had thrown down a creep to make a sunken, but upon realizing this was bio, he cancelled it.
Creep Colony is such an expensive defensive structure. Like, it's crazy expensive, but also crazy effective. So canceling that is really good. Gonna save him not only a drone, but what is it, like 150 minerals on top of that as well. So very, very good. That essentially buys him like 2/3 of an expansion.
Yep, we have Gypsy following us up with the 2X Academy yet again, and we're gonna transition into somewhat normal game. Hawk is gonna have a slightly better economy than normal. Comparatively, already has that third going up, even before the lair is done.
This 2Rex Academy, though, any kind of pressure coming out of it's likely to hit a bit later, it feels like. Just judging by, I don't know, using my brain to try and predict the future. I mean, I don't know. Doesn't it feel... I feel like Gypsy is significantly behind on the tempo of the game.
Yeah, Hawk has already saturated 2 bases, taking a third, sending drones, and Gypsy just now is going to have his medics. The only thing that's different is Hawk's tech is slightly behind for a 2-hand build. So that means when we have Gypsy moving out, he's going to have his first group with 2 medics in support, and Hawk is going to have to respect this threat. He's going to have to make sunkens at probably both bases.
Luckily, sunkens on this high ground, though, are pretty strong.
So Gypsy is heading directly for that base? Does he even know it's there?
No, it looks like he's just kind of wrapping around towards the top here. And that's pretty ideal for Hawk. I think the big vulnerability, of course, for Hawk was going to be this brand new high ground third expansion that he had. But we're going to have the double sunken, and this is not going to do anything.
Yeah. We do need to make links, though, because 2 sunkens aren't enough. We need some actual DPS to attack the Marines.
Are you... Well, I mean, but the Marines don't have range yet.
It doesn't really matter, because... how many Marines was this? This is 9 Marines. You'll probably lose 2 or 3 Marines, and then... with no Lings, like, the sunkens alone don't do enough damage. This is crazy from Gypsy if he commits here.
He's trying to zone out the Lings with the fire bats. Oh my god.
Fire bats actually crushed all the Lings that were coming in, but... with that sunken finishing up, gets pushed back.
Now this is scary. Mutas aren't gonna be on the field here now, and Gypsy doesn't have range on his Marines. We only have 4 in the air right now, and it looks like range is gonna finish up, but we could still kill these 3 Marines. Wait, why aren't we killing these 3 Marines though?
Right, because we have 4 mutas, we gotta... Oh, we do get picked. I mean, these fire bats had no value left, but they were still gonna be useful as scouts.
Oh my god, kill the army! Please! There's no energy on the medics either! Yeah, I think Hawk just exercising you know, a little caution here. No, 4 mutas essentially almost never can do anything. But... oh lord. Is that +1 just getting started? Wow. So Gypsy's +1 is going to be mega late.
Yeah, it is. Let's look at Hawk's fire. Is he going to get careful again? Yep. And again, Hawk is about half an upgrade ahead.
You know, this entire
micro, but he's got to be careful. He's got to be careful not to overextend.
Yeah, we've already lost, I think, 2 mutas. But yeah, dude, this entire cast I've just been cheating and using the production tab over here, and I gotta say, man, I feel like this is a completely underused tool here. Like, you can compare the upgrade timings directly. Oh my god, it's so nice.
I had never, ever even looked at the...
Didn't you realize when I started calling out upgrade timing, something's wrong here? Doc Holliday doesn't fucking look at upgrades. He's absolutely the dumbest caster that has ever been. How does he know all this? I've just been cheating this entire time. I was wondering if anyone was gonna catch on. But yeah, it's super sick because, like, literally you can look and be like, all right, well, here's the flyer upgrade. There's gonna be plenty of time before +1's done. Muta's gonna be super strong. Like, oh my god, it's so good, right?
Yep.
There you go, Carapace. Again, this is a pretty good timing. This is like the same timing that we had last time, where he's gonna have a good opportunity in between when the upgrades get finished for the Carapace and when the second attack upgrade is gonna be finished. Ooh. So
Hawk is actually not going for lurkers this game. He's getting Carapace, but Hive following it up.
These mutas, though, are being very productive. I wish we would have waited maybe just a little bit longer before we started engaging this army, because we are almost done on that air upgrade. But even still, you know, you got a medic, you got a nice group of like 4 Marines here, and now that that's finished up here, we're probably going to be looking for another fight. No, there were...
Gypsy. Gypsy scans to confirm what build this is. And he's gonna see, okay, 2 evolution chambers and an ultralist in. No lurkers, bunch of sunkens. He knows this crazies are just gonna skip lurkers altogether. Use mutas for defense and sunkens for support, knowing that if you can just lurkers altogether, you have the gas for ultralists.
Alright, so 3 sunkens is actually a lot of defense up here on the top of this ramp. We do need the mutas to come down here, but man, is it annoying for Marines to try and fight this. The Nidus has just finished up, but the exit has not yet. But I think this is going to be pretty well held, even though we did lose a decent number of drones. This is a huge army and a huge commitment from Gypsy, and now that that is gone, there's going to be very little room for Gypsy to be able to pressure for quite some time, as the mutas will once again be able to fight the army directly. And that is, yeah, that's pretty good. I think it's so funny, man. Now that I pointed up the production tab, like, even Packrat's getting in on the case, like, whoa, oh shit, he's researching Burrow. Oh, what is this? He's got, oh, is this the Burrow build? No, it's not the Burrow build. Calm down, Packrat. Leave it to the professionals, sir. But yeah, that's a pretty common accidental research there. For me, I always research the Overlord side upgrade. But yeah, look at this, man. The Muta's doing a really good job trading here at the natural.
Yeah, this is the power of +1 Carapace.
Yeah, especially since Gypsy kind of let that +1 go for a little bit longer. He may even find himself in a position where the Ultras are very close to being even the entire game if we have an instant Carapace going down for the melee units, or the ground units rather.
Alright, first Ultralists are already in production. Here we have them pop out. Of course, they don't have Carapace hit, so you really don't want to engage with these.
There we go. Well, they just got Carapace, and Carapace is about to finish. Gypsy's going to be making his way over to the natural expansion. I think once he makes it there, the Ultras should be ready to fight.
Yeah, we really need that extra +2 to come in. Here comes Gypsy flying in with his vessels. Gotta be careful. Where are the Scourge? Where are the Scourge? Oh, why are they camped over here? These are some very ambitious vessels that flew in.
We got one though.
AFK over the Ultras.
We got one vessel with the Mutalisks. That's pretty decent. There are 6 Sunkens here, so no real threat of being busted here. We do have the 4th base going down in the bottom right-hand corner. Gypsy looking to put on some pressure with these drop ships. That could potentially be very productive. A lot of the Ultralists are kind of low from those irradiates. Here we go. Here comes the dropship.
Interesting angle to come in from. Where are they going? Where are they going?
Unit's not really too close to the Nidus here too, so this could potentially get picked off before too many Ultras are able to get in here. Now Ultra's very bad at dealing with Marines behind these lines, especially if the medics are able to get in this way. As you can see, Gypsy stacking his 2 medics here in this little narrow area, so that way the AI just gets hung up on him. One stinky boy, though, gets behind the mineral line, and when you irradiate an Ultralisk, it actually does a pretty fantastic job of killing Marines, because that irradiate damage does splash onto the Marines themselves. But the kill on the Nidus is pretty nice as well.
Nita's coming in to clean up the last remaining Marines. Gypsy loading up, coming into the main. There's no units.
Dude, the Ultras are actually getting stuck here. So Hawk forced to kill a bunch of the Sunkens at the front. Oh my god, look how many Ultras there are on the map. Those are ridiculous.
Big drop in Hawk's main.
Yeah. The you know, it's someone was pointing out, the Slarm in the chat is pointing out that despite him not getting any like real big like base kills or anything like that, we're seriously taxing Hawk's economy here. As you can see, the drone count at the 3rd is dwindled. There's no real drones here down at the 4th, and the main and natural have got a good number of drones missing as well. So, you know, Gypsy with his 3rd coming up here, he's slowly going to just attrition his opponent to death, I think, if things keep going this way. We do have another timing, though, for Hawk coming up as this Carapace almost finishes up here. I'm not sure if he's paying attention to that, because we are going, but this is a completely exposed 3rd base right now.
Yeah, what we have here is that even though these drops, like you said, are not seeming to kill anything, they're actually doing a lot of economic damage.
Yeah.
Even picking out 5-6 drones here, it's really hurting Hawk. Because Hawk's army right now is pure Ultralisk.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really have the money to afford more hatcheries to start mixing in links. And with only Ultras, you have this army that's strong, but Gypsy's just splitting Hawk's attention, harassing in several different ways, and
yeah.
We have Gypsy's upgrade finally kicking in, so he's on 2-1, and he's able to match at least the Ultralisk.
Well, that's the thing, the Ultras have actually starting to catch up a bit in the upgrades here. But
alright, vessels are key. Gonna eat half of these Ultralisk lives away.
That's the real big thing here. When you're on pure Ultralisk like this, the vessels provide so much value, and Hawk has really done nothing to diminish the number of vessels that are in the air. I mean, these vessels are accounting for the majority of the damage that's being done to the army right now, and they're doing it completely for free. We're not losing like almost anything in the way of Marines, and this very chunky, low unit count army is just getting obliterated by the spell power here.
Yeah, only 3 hatcheries for Hawk this entire time. No macro hatcheries being added. He could finally mix them in now that he's droned up a bit, but it might be too late.
Yeah, I mean, the loss of that 4th base down in the bottom right here is pretty major. It looks like Gypsy's so comfortable with the number of vessels that he's got, which is currently 8, that he's just going to start erasering. And as we said before, the economic damage is really what's going to tell the tale of the success in this game. Gypsy has completely obliterated the economy here. And, you know, there's really very little that we can do for the rest of the game here other than slowly die to Gypsy's 3-base Terran economy.
Yeah, Hawk does have really strong upgrades, but what good are upgrades when you don't have any units?
Yeah.
I'm looking for where his Ultralisks are. It looks like they're grouping up at the net. There's one in the main.
I'm looking where his drones are. It looks like they're literally nowhere. There's only 2 base saturation. It's not even completely done yet. I mean, this is just terrible, man. I mean, like, maybe if we had Plague, you know, the Ultras will live long enough to do damage, but they don't live long enough to do their damage without the Plague, and they're gonna get totally annihilated here at the natural. Look at every single Ultralisk in the natural expansion got irradiated. That's insane. That actually might help the effectiveness of these Ultralisks, since it happens so early into the fight. Yeah.
A huge bio group from Gypsy though, massive.
Man, what a 6 series, dude! Gypsy comes back against the wall, as you said, but he makes it happen. So we're going to the final game here.
Yeah, that was actually crazy because down 2-1, well, I guess 1-2, and down from the early game, right? His A-Rex did some damage, but not enough.
Yeah.
And to be able to pull off a victory in those conditions is pretty impressive.
So it looks like we found out, man. Tournament Gypsy is opposite of Stream Ladder Gypsy. He is Stone Cold Killer, man.
Alright, so we're going to have an ace match on Fighting Spirit.
Alrighty, guys. Well, really interesting map here. Something that we don't see very often at all here for the final game. In the top left-hand corner, we have Gypsy spawning here on Fighting Spirit.
In the bottom right corner, we have Hawk as a brown Zerg. Man, this is great. This is great. This is an ideal way to start off the stream. You know, 2 NA players going at it. Playing at, I guess, like, I mean, no one's going to play 100% in a tournament. A little bit of nerves come into play. But Hawk has shown a lot of skill, that match point game, very effective build. And Gypsy just showing that through pure mechanics and good multitask, he can come back from a, I guess it was a, not a sizable deficit, but a deficit still.
Yeah, man, it's just really impressive, honestly. That last game specifically, Gypsy just doing everything right, coming up with a really smart game plan, and then slowly grinding it out. You know, I mean, like, it's just so nice to see him play really, really well. Like, I've been looking forward to seeing how he's going to play in the tournament, and he's just done a fantastic job so far. Especially, you know, I was really looking to see whether or not he was going to be really rocked in that last game there, being kind of on the back foot, both in the series and then after the initial opening. But no, he kept it together super, super well, played really, really smart, made great decisions, and just was able to take the game out. Just pure, I wouldn't even say just pure mechanics, like that was a very brainy game played by him. He played very, very well.
Yep. Now, here we are. We're in the last game, and looks like Gypsy's gonna go for his bread and butter build, the 2-Rax Academy. We don't know yet, but at least the Rax expand. And Hawk is doing a new build. So I'm not sure if this was the 11 pool layer build or 12 pool layer build, but it looks like it is. We're gonna have a very fast layer with this build. Our mirror's gonna be that much faster, and it's interesting. He's gonna mix it up, but here we go. Look at this layer time, 232 layer. He pulls off one off gas, and he's gonna put it back on, and here we go. Now with this build, the meter's gonna be out that much faster. Of course, the economy is a little bit worse, but that's a trade-off. Gypsy's gonna see the nat timing and know that this isn't 12 hatch. And now, how many lings did Hawk made? Only 2. No, he made 4 lings. Now with cross map spawns, normally against 4 lings you need a bunker, but I wonder if Gypsy, realizing that it's only 4 lings and it's cross map, he's still gonna commit to it. Nope, just gonna rely on the Sim City and the time he has. Also sees that 2 of the lings are busy chasing this SCV. Bold move, he's even actually moving out. Almost picks off that first ling. Like he does it. So this is huge. This is one of the benefits Terran has in a cross-map scenario. Hawk can't get his Overlord to the Terran's net. It's way too risky to commit, because the Marines can move it out any time and just pick off that Overlord.
Alrighty, well, the mutas are going to be like out at like 5:30, I believe, with this build timing, which is incredibly fast here. But honestly, Gypsy's responses have been pretty fantastic. He obviously knows the game really well. You can see that in a lot of the coaching sessions, stuff that he does. He just knows his timings. He's played Zerg for the majority of his StarCraft career, I think, still. You know, so he should have a really great response to this. And with the fact that, you know, the build has already been scattered out, I mean, I don't really know. I just feel like playing a build like this that's kind of a tempo change, right? Like to try and catch your opponent off guard, but you're playing it against a player who's played Zerg almost his entire career. And I feel like that has got to be a big disadvantage going into this portion.
Alright, so we have Gypsy going for +1, which is extremely risky against a 2-hedge build. Simply because you're not going to have your key stim and range upgrades in time to defend from the 2-hatch Muta. So this kind of play is very risky from Gypsy. He's going to have +1 faster than all these games he's played with the 2-Rax Academy, but without stim and range, you can't really engage the Mutas either. Looks like Hawk. Actually, Hawk mixed in a bunch of lings that he didn't do anything with. And now he's going to transition to Mutas off a very weak economy. This seems very all-in from Hawk.
Yeah, likely we're going to see like an attempt at a bust here. We already have the turrets coming up pretty much just at the perfect timing as well. These are going to finish up just as the Mutas arrive here at the natural expansion. But, okay, so we have 2 being added on now. This is a ton of lings though. We could potentially see a bust on the bunker. The thing is that it is so well SimCity'd off. Look at 2 of the sides just completely occupied by buildings, and then we have a nice little wall of Marines with the medic behind as well to make sure that lings can't just run past and get right on top of that bunker and start doing the damage. So things overall just very well positioned by Gypsy, making a very smart moves here as far as his defenses go. Marines being forced to move down away from that, though, may open up an opportunity for the lings to kind of start getting in here into the natural expansion and doing some damage.
Alright, so all Gypsy needs to do is scan Hawk's net and see the drone count. Once he sees there's only 3 drones on minerals here, you know, it's a very committed, basically all-in mid-game from Hawk. Hard to transition when you don't saturate your bases fully.
Okay, so this is pretty important. We have the Mutas now into the main base here. If all of Gypsy's troops come up here to chase the Mutas, this opens up an opportunity for the lings to come in here and kill this bunker, I think.
Alright, will Hawk react in time? Oh, it looks like a medic scouted some of these lings.
Look how smart that move was. Oh my god, that was insane. Gypsy just sends the 1 medic out to kind of like scout out what's going on outside of his natural expansion to make sure he doesn't get totally destroyed by some kind of attack here. Now I don't know if Gypsy knows about this giant group below the little bridge here. Doesn't look like he does, because he does extend out pretty far past his defenses, but the lings get caught up really hard. Okay. This is a pretty excellent move here from Hawk so far. The 2 medics, oh okay, 1 medic goes down, 2nd medic almost goes down. But that is not enough at all. I don't think that this is enough damage at all here.
Another scan in the main, 1 at the net. Sees that there's only 2 drones on minerals, so now Gypsy's gonna switch his gameplay. He's not gonna attempt to move out at all, basically.
Yeah, Gypsy can basically just sit around here and defend against the Mutas, and after a little while, he's just gonna have too many units and Hawk will destroy him. The Muta Micro has been productive, though.
One thing that Hawk wants for this game is the +1 attack, so with this, you're going to look to trade with your Mutas a lot more. Not this much, of course. Hawk losing, I think it was 3 Mutas in the last dive-in, but still a lot of damage being done. Doesn't want to let any of these turrets come up.
Yeah, some of this is pretty ballsy, like... He sniped off 2 SCVs so far here to stop some turrets, like... There's so many Mutas on the way. I just don't want him to keep diving in here and throw away 2 more Mutas. He's got look how low these are. He's got 3 Mutas with like 7 HP, and they're still alive. How does this happen? One has 2 HP. Dude, what? Oh my God, so ballsy. All right.
He's leaving all the bruised Mutas behind, thankfully.
Yep, going in once again to this natural expansion, doing a lot of work here. I just don't think it's enough. Still, he has to do so much in order to be able to win in this position. Like, Gypsy could throw down 2 more turrets, no problem, and just sit and wait for his 5 Raxes to pile up enough Marines where he just walks across the map and kills his opponent. Like, if you can see, we don't have Hydras or a Hydra Den down or anything like that. He's literally going for a Queen's Death because the only hope to end this game really is going to be Guardians, it looks like.
Yeah, Gypsy doing the play I like a lot, where you defend by moving out. Basically, you keep these mutants out on the map instead of at your net. Now that he has enough production with these 5 barracks to do it, it's a pretty good play. He's not gonna have to build a lot of turrets, doesn't have to suffer economic damage if he can just keep these mutants occupied.
Yep. And once the starport gets rolling, man, it is going to be rough waters. There's going to be a long portion of time where Irradiate is on the field, but we don't have Guardians yet ready to attack the natural expansion. And in that in that period of time, the mutas still have to be out on the map distracting the bio, otherwise you die. Oh my god, and the mutas are taking tons of damage now. Getting good number of unaccompanied Marines here, but it's not worth it. We've only got 4 mutas left in this little ball here. 2 more recovering, I think. Yeah, 2 more recovering, 1 healthy still here over the Nat. But man, this is very scary. These units are the only thing that is keeping Gypsy from walking across the map and killing Hawk, so he has to continue to trade with them, and the more that he takes these unfavorable trades, the closer he's getting to his doom.
Yeah, we have Hawk's mutas a bit unorganized. He has 3 on the left side, 2 healing, 1 just seems to be forgotten, and Gypsy stimming across the map.
Yeah, we don't have any Sunkens or anything like that, so these mutas need to continue to fight these Marines as they string out while they walk across the map here. There is a lot of Marines here, but more importantly, a ton of medics. If he can get all the kills on these Marines before more groups of Marines unite, this is going to be pretty big. If he can just kill off all those medics, that's a ton of money invested. But man, there is not very many healthy mutalisks in this ball right now. Oh man, and the micro's not amazing.
Yeah, it's a lot different to micro with your back against the 1 ZT than it is when you're at their net. And then Hawk critically left behind. Look at all
this. Oh no! Yeah, the final mutas are going to die here now, and that's going to be all she wrote. At this point, you might as well at least just pull the drones, but man, Gypsy is going to take the final game here after coming down from a 2-1 disadvantage. So very well played by Gypsy here. Very nice games from both of our players. Man, what a explosive game here at the end.
Yeah, a bit tragic. Hawk, during that pressure, just wasn't able to organize all his units. He had 4 mutas on the left side of the map that weren't accompanying his army. Even with that, I don't think he would have held. I think the key mistake in that game was, or maybe it's not a mistake, but he did make 18 lings before any mutas were out, and he did nothing with them.
Yeah, we got a small group of bio for it all.
And with that, we have Gypsy moving on into the round of 4. Hawk played extremely well as well. If there's another NASL, I wouldn't be surprised if Hawk made it into round of 8 again, at least. Yeah, last hope and a turn is true.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's also the first hope. He's pretty much like the only high level. I mean, there's like very few NA Terrans that are currently active that play in the tournament scene.
Gypsy, Father, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, Sero exists, but he doesn't play anymore.
In Korea, Argitosis is in his own world, basically.
Yeah.
Alright, do you want to take a break before the next series?
Yeah, why don't we do that? I'd rather get something to drink, guys. Please stick around, though. We have another, I would say almost a big rivalry match coming up here. Dragon versus Tai 2. These guys play against each other all the time. Very, very active tournament players. Always a really, really great matchup between the two of them. So that is coming up for you next year. We're going to go ahead and take a 5-minute break, guys, real quick. Go ahead and leave your computer. Do some stretching. Take care of yourselves, guys. Walk, get some fresh air or something. And we'll be back in just about 5 minutes to bring you the next series. And in the meantime, too, if you guys want to check out the match arena, we'll throw that link up here in the chat for you in a second here. And do consider doing the sponsor quest and using the coupon code. We'd really appreciate that. But thank you all for everybody stopping by.
Si te gustó este video, no olvides darle like Y si aún eres nuevo y aún no te suscribes, te invitamos a hacerlo y a darle clic a la campanita. Recuerda que todos los días viernes estaremos subiendo nuevas guías y nuevo material, todo en relación con Starcraft remasterizado. Hasta la próxima, amigos.